Okay guys, here's the answer to last week's trivia on the plant. Here's another one in the field, but it's starting on a seed head, so that ought to help. At least it does me. I don't know if I can get zoomed in on that thing any good or not. Let me just try to get real close. Starting a colony right here. It's kind of a lighter green. I call it almost a blue green. That is the infamous big blue stem. And we don't see a whole lot of it, but every now and then you'll see some. And it looks like this may be a year where conditions got right, but it's one of those things just like I was talking about on the last cow video anyway. I gave it two rotations rest because it needed it, and I knew that this was a heavy native grass pasture. And so I just wanted to give it a little chance from the drought to recover, and then we'll be right back in the rotation and it won't get any special treatment. So was that worth it? I don't know. I guess I'll know in 5 years maybe. Hey, good morning. We're trying to get our heifers trained to come. We got them driving fairly well, and when I say our heifers, I'm actually talking. It's going to take me a while to get kind of switched over because we put the big heifer group in with the cows. But these are this year's developing heifers. And so we're trying to get them trained to come and to drive. That's the two things we want our cows to do whenever we tell them to do it. So that training starts at this age. So what I'm doing now, we've kind of been driving them to get them to move because you kind of have to, starting off. And so I'm just driving them. I'm kind of at the front while I'm driving them, but I'm hollering for them too. I'm teaching them the call. And it helps that I did put a couple of red tags that were kind of left behind in here with them. And then there's that orange tag up there that I call her the elephant man because she's got a huge lump on her head, but she's got a baby. So, hey, no pictures on the scorecards, boys. And she acts like she's kind of heading for the gate. So what I'll do is give them a chance to go through, and then I'll probably kind of get on the other side and continue calling because you can see the young ones are coming. They're following the older ones. Now see, she's about to go by it. So I'm going to go out this way. There we go. Perfect. So this is the first time that we've called them and started trying to teach them to come by themselves. Now they grew up coming with their mamas, but they really just kind of followed their mamas typically. So I'll set right here since they're going in real well. I'll set right here and I'll call them for a while here. And that's kind of how you start them. When I stop seeing animals coming for a little bit, I'll swing back around because they're invariably there's going to be some. And here's those two more of the red tags that were left back. And I'd like to get them hooked up with these, but and I'll get that done at some point here. But I don't want to lose focus on what I'm doing with these that are coming. That's perfect. If they'll just keep doing this, it won't take very many times before they know what they're doing, and they'll come very well. Now we put a light green colored tags in these new heifers' ears, so they are a different tag from anything close to their age, and at the same time they've got a 4 brand on them because they were born last year. Sometimes what you'll get into is these last ones, they're real nervous. And so I may have to back up a little bit instead of kind of forcing them to walk by me. I'd rather have success with them coming and going through the gate with the rest of the cattle than to force them to go by me yet and start teaching them to go by me. This one right here, I'm going to be real quiet and kind of watch her for just a minute here. Woo! Hear them bawling when I call them. Like I said, there's going to be some that are back over here that haven't responded, so we're going to go get them. And we're going to force them to respond. See, they're coming. They're just coming slow. I always try to work with them, same way we do with our management as far as their nutrition and their lives. You know, we try and work with nature, and they're herd animals. You know, when the herd moves, they should be moving. And there's an occasion where I'll force them. You've heard me say that when I teach them to drive, and then when I'm telling them to go, I'll make a couple of passes across them, giving them the signal. And if they don't go, then I'm going to get a little more aggressive as far as how I'm trying to drive them. Up, up. That's my signal to drive. They need to stay together as a herd. The smaller your pastures, the easier this is, because they see the other ones moving out the gate and they're like, hey. So you can train them really fast. If you're strip grazing, train them really fast. All those types of scenarios help with this kind of training. It's just you got to be real careful and not get into a habit, not let them get into a habit of when you drive in, they start trying to move. You really want to try to teach them to only move when you tell them to. Otherwise, you can't ever come down and look at them without them going, oh, hey, we're moving. You want them to just keep eating. So all things that we've learned, and most people that have rotated any significant amount have learned, and it's an issue to prevent that. It takes a little bit of observation and adjustments and what you're doing and when and all that stuff. Woo! Up. Okay, there you go. I don't know if that's the last one or not, but it was as far as right here close. I've got them in a decent sized pasture now, so I'll make a quick swing over that way and just look. But you know, it's not that difficult. You just kind of have to kind of piddle around with them a little bit. You really got to pay attention to what they're doing and what they're responding to. But you just put them in a position where they're having success with what you're wanting them to respond to, and that was going through the gate. And so the first group was pretty easy because they did have a leader that's kind of learned that a little bit. And then this last group, we forced them a little bit to have success by driving them up to the point where you can tell they saw the gate, the other cattle were in there and they wanted to go, and then we tried to get over here in the front and put the call on them. So that'll slow. The more you do that, the more they learn. It's just like teaching any animal a trick. Except they're not quite as smart as a border collie. Some of them are. Sometimes you wonder how smart they are. But anyway, we'll make a quick round around here and just see if that's all of them. I'm 95% sure it is. If it's not, I'll at least come back on and say, well, we picked up some. But otherwise, we got to move, so we will move on to the next project. Good morning. We're still working on teaching the heifers to come, and it ought to get easier every time. I'm pretty far back from them, but I am in the next pasture. Ooh, come on. Let all these that I can see that are coming come on through. And then any ones that didn't come, I'll swing back around them and bring them. But this ought to be a real good pasture to, I don't know if you can see that or not, but the gamma grass is just lush. We're a little bit late on getting in here. It's already kind of started pushing the seed, but that's okay. It needed some extra recovery time. So nice little treat for them when they come in, especially if they hear me calling them and they come over here and find it. That's outstanding, but they're not getting past the Bermuda grass. That's okay. See, it's great if I can be on this side and not have to drive them and have them coming. This is great. Ooh. Woo! Good morning. Woo! Come on, girls. Atta girl. They coming. Woo! Come on. Good girls. Good girls, come on. Woo! Come on. Woo! Them to come by me without me driving. Woo! Come on! Woo! Come on! Woo! Woo! There's one of my older ones that was in here that had stayed back with her baby. So she's kind of a leader for him here, which helps. You don't have to have one, but it does help. That heifer right there is one that we let by. That's a 2023 model. So she's a year older than these other heifers. You can see they've got maybe you can see that we branded a 4 on their shoulder. They were born in 2024. They're moving in the right direction, which is good, because the next move, if they're not coming, it's going to be tough. Well, actually, the next 2 moves, they've got to come. It'll be tough to drive them. Red tag with her baby, one of the 2 that were in here still. There you go, stayed back in the brush because they didn't come. That's okay. She had a baby. Aggressive eaters. I mean. Yeah, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to every one of you. Nothing wrong with that. As Johann Zietzman says, they have an unfair advantage. Now the hard part is still yet to come. That is cleaning the pastures, making sure everything came out. That always takes more time than it does to blow your little whistle or holler at them and open a gate. But it is amazing how fast you can move a bunch of animals and a bunch of different herds. People that don't rotate, a lot of times they say one of their reasons for not doing it is the time it takes. And yes, you have to be there. Well, up until recently, you have to be there. Now they've got the geofencing for your livestock, which if you can afford to do that, that would be wonderful. You just draw your little fences, and then that trains them to a vibrate, and then to a noise, or a noise and then a vibrate, and then a shock. And so I think it works pretty well. But you have to weigh the cost. Have to weigh the cost. Sometimes I wish I had that. Other times I'm glad I don't. Go ahead, ladies. Move on. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and swing back down through this pasture, because I think 4 babies, that's going to be all the babies. For sure. I thought there's 3. That's one more than I thought. So let me swing down there real quick and just see if there's any heifers still there. I don't know if I videoed this early, but when I first started, I saw I had one in this pasture. And I threw those gates up there and started a group right here, and I just knew she would come on and come right in. Well, she didn't, and it's because she's got a sore foot. We have got gobs of sore feet in every group, except the bulls. I haven't seen any with the bulls. So I don't know what the deal is with that. I say it's not the Mashona. Yeah, I mean, I've got, well, I don't know. I can't say that. I can say that I don't know. I don't remember identifying any straight Mashona animals that have bad feet right now. But I've definitely got some 50-50s that do. There's one you're looking at right there. Same way on the goats, the sheep. And that's it. Now this little heifer with the bad foot, it'd probably be best if I left her in here. But the problem with that is when the small ruminants get here, which they're, 3, 4, 5 pastures away, when they get here, they'll have to have water, which means I'll have to change that water lot where it's just for them. And there's some small ponds in here where she was, but by then, who knows? It may turn off dry, and she may not have any water. So it's kind of best if I can just get her to go. I'm probably just going to leave her give her some time here and let her continue working that way, and she'll trail those other ones up. I think she wants to go with them, and then I'll just come back down and shut the gate. All right, we got her. In our country, when you do have a sore foot or an animal that's hanging back because they have a limp or something like that, you want to make sure it's not swelled way up, because if it is, it could be a snake bite, and if you start driving them with a snake bite, the odds go way up. And I'm talking a venomous snake, a rattlesnake, a cottonmouth, typically rattlesnakes. You will kill them. Don't ask me how I know that, but you will kill them. So you just want to just leave them alone. If you see them like that and you notice that they've got a big old swelled up spot on their foot or on their leg, just leave them. Good morning. We're moving this year's heifer group, and they've gotten to where they're coming fairly well. So I'm trying to call them in here and see if they can't. They're wanting to follow me right now. Let me get these gates. I'll get them going the other way. Oh. 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 Hey, come on, girl. They think there's a gate down here. Come on. Woo! Come on. Come on. Woo! Come on, girl. Ooh. Come on, ladies. Come on, ladies. Ooh. I'll see if they'll come this way right here. Come on. Ooh. There they go. I'm still training. Ooh. This is really good for these heifers right here to have me parked right here by the gate. You notice they look about like they did last year. That group, they're very consistent. Ooh, and I'd like to say that's from my cows that I've been working on for 20 years, but a lot of it has to do with the bulls. The Mashona bulls. Come on, there goes a crazy one. She needs to come out. It's gonna be good for her to have to go by me. Woo! Come on. Woo! The Mashona bulls really do, especially on the heifers, they just create a heifer that they look a lot alike, especially at this age. Now, as they get a little bit older, they seem to take on a little bit more of their mother. Not more, but just more than they had. So they start looking more like, an Angus cross type of cow. But they retain that. They seem to retain that shiny and that early slicking off and all that kind of stuff, which is good because that's a sign of a pretty healthy animal. So looks like they're kind of wanting to go back. So I'm gonna drive down this fence line here. Come on! Ooh! Come on! Ooh! Come on, girls! Ooh! So they're just a nice bull to cross on your Angus. I don't know about any other ones because I never crossed them on any other ones, but I really like that cross on the Angus. Ooh! Now hopefully these will come on and come around like this. It's going to be very hard for them to not want to go back as these get out here. Anyway, they just throw a nice calf. That's good. That's what we're after. Quick and easy. Once you get them coming, that is awesome. It sure makes things easier if you're moving a lot. And if you're moving a lot, they get to where they're coming a lot soon. You know, I don't like talking about any type of animal because it's all relative to everybody's place and what they're trying to do. So, you know, for what we're trying to do, these animals work really nice. But other people, you know, they may need a different type of animal. But for no inputs, these work pretty well. Are they perfect? No. Are they better than most for us? Oh yeah, way better. I had to go get some stragglers here. They weren't quite sure if they wanted to come in here or not, so I've just been easing them along. I'm going to shut this dude right here so I don't lose everything I've been working towards. And then I'll ease them through the gate, baby. Handy dandy wire here. Golly, that stuff is like a rock. I don't even know how I can get it around there. Let's do this. Golly, that's tough wire. These old heifers have been shot. That's what's going on. They've probably just been following everybody. And so they've never had an opportunity to really hit the fence. And they've been shocked now, and they're like, we're very careful where we move. Very careful. I'll see if I can ease them out of this corner. Don't do that, ladies. I'd prefer if you did not tear that up. There's a couple in here that are pretty level-headed. The red one's a little waspy. Little patience here. And there you go. Well, I think that the heifers are good now with respect to moving. I think they got good training. I think they got training from the older cows that were kind of left in here, which is a bonus, and it's made it a lot simpler. So they're getting trained just right. That's all I got to say about that. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.